I'm not even sure if this works, guys. My little boy had it all tore apart. Is there any sound now, Farmer Fred? Farmer and the Fred. Okay, good, good. Hey, Georgia Peach, how are you? All right, we got sound working. I don't know that Kason of mine. I tell you what, I come in here every day, and he has my. Well, it's sitting on a table because my desk hadn't been brought over here yet because it's so big. And the table will be way out in the middle of the floor, and the cords are all stretched as far as they'll stretch. Hey, Richard Polly, how are you? It's good to see y'all. There probably won't be many here. Everybody's mad tonight, and that's okay. I really don't care anymore. I do care, but I got to say like everybody else does. I don't care. But so that's the thing about me. I guess that's why I'm so passionate and emotional is because I do care. I do care about everybody and everything. And then, I get forced to have to say, I don't care because I'm not going to, let my garden down. Say, no, I'm sad. I feel bad or, I just can't do it anymore. I did want to clear up something with Watcher. I don't know if she's in here or not, but I was trying to say over there at Fumbles a while ago that Watcher has advanced pretty much past us as content creators, right? She's more of a what do they call that? I said it a while ago to myself. Yes, I do need a hug, Richard Polly. But she's more of an influencer, because everybody kind of hangs on every word she says because she has wise words. She really does. So she is actually an influencer. So she kind of has to walk a different line than what the content creators do because people are looking towards her for reassurance or what should be going on or so that would be kind of like, yeah, I watch her too, Richard. That would be like her getting up here and saying, oh, I'm a Democrat or I'm a Republican. Well, then you're going to piss off half your deal because some of them may be the opposite. So when you become an influencer, you kind of don't you kind of can't say things like that. You just kind of you have to be biased, I guess is the word I'm looking for. And because people do listen to her, she makes sense. And so if, when she's supporting people, then she's going to, dog, go lay down, please. You know, yeah, you do have to be neutral, especially as an influencer. You really do. Because you're in that's why it's called influencer, because you're influencing people with what you're saying. So, and they may not even know that they're doing that, but somebody might say, well, Watcher says, this person is a really great person and or this person is not a great person, so a lot of people are going to be basing what they think of other people off of what she thinks of them. Kind of what I'm trying to say, I think. But so and I kind of want to clear up a little bit of Fumble stuff. I can see Fumble's position. You know, I have the same position. I feel like, um, we've worked over here for 2, 3 years. Well, actually, my Google thing popped up and said I've been here for 3 years. Um, that we've been working in this community, trying to get out the trash and bring in good people and get everybody, to where they could have fun and be relaxed and enjoy, your chats and stuff like that. Um, and then an outsider like Leanne comes in, and she is an outsider because she was Jim's right hand man, and she done a lot of dirty shit, to a lot of people. Right. Yeah, that's how long I've had my own channel. I think Richard Polly is 2 years, but the thing said I'd been on for 3 years. But anyway, she's done some dirty shit to us, and everybody, kind of flocked to her with this idea of, peace and love and, flowers and what have you, when she's never been a peace and love type person. She's always been a fighter. And so she's always been a fighter. She's always wanted to fight. That was one of the things that me and her had issues with when we were together. Is, I would say, let's not talk about Jim, and she would get all mad. Well, I don't want to get my digs in with him. So she was answering phone calls coming in for him. People in the chat were getting mad, and they were saying, "Get rid of her. Tell her to get off the phone. Don't be answering the phone." And so you do what your chat wants, pretty much. If there's enough people that's wanting the same thing, then obviously there's a reason for that. Um so that's and so there was a lot of animosity between me and her. Well, they're wanting to say that's that I hate her and that Fumble hates her, and that's why we're not going to give in. Well, we're not going to give in. I mean, I can't speak for anybody but myself. But she come over here and she hadn't done a damn thing for this community. She hasn't stood up for anybody over here in this community. She has done nothing for nobody but cause a lot of people trouble. But yeah, a lot of the people that have professed their love for me and their love for Fumble over there have disappeared from us and went to her. And some of those people were telling me in the background, you're not going to take her back, are you? You're not going to get back with Leanne, are you? So I'm here standing my ground because, the people that said they cared for me just didn't want, her around. So I didn't bring her around. But now she's a staple, and it's no jealousy whatsoever because she is nothing to be jealous of by any means. I don't watch anything much anymore either, Georgia Peach. I'll go over and watch. I found these fishing people from Australia. This old man, he's not an old man, but he's this guy that I go over and I watch them fish. Sometimes he's in a lake, sometimes he's in a pond, sometimes he's in the ocean. So that's usually where I'm at when I'm on here. So, anyways, it basically has boiled down to them against us. Well, all of us that was here, that didn't want this, are all over there, and it's not just going where you want to go and hanging out. It's what you do when you get there. It's supposed to be all kumbaya. Let's all have fun. But in every show that I've seen, it's been talking about Jim and Mark and Angel and them. So what was the difference? What was the difference of switching over? And I like a lot of people that go over there. I still do. I really do. There's a lot of people getting things crossways. And everybody needs to start thinking for themselves, using their own head, and quit being a follower. What was her name? Oh, goodness gracious. Butterfly Kisses. Was just over there at Fumbles, and she had asked me about Sugar Plum, what had happened with Sugar Plum. And I was trying to explain it to her, and there was a couple other people that had asked too. So I was explaining what had gone on with that. Well, then I stopped by Leanne's before I start my channel up, and I see where Butterfly Kisses in there telling everybody that I was hateful and rude to her. That I was talking about everybody and trashing people. That was absolutely not true. Only person I trashed was Leanne and Sugar Plum. That's it. Because I don't like them. And I have a good reason to not like them. Sugar Plum went real life, went to my house. That's always going to be an issue because that's something you don't forgive people for. And the bad thing about it, she's never asked for forgiveness for. But the channel over there, I think the owner of the channel was saying things like, we forgive y'all. No, you don't forgive us because we didn't do anything to you. You came at us. Hello, Racing Stars Love. Yeah, it's been a kind of a night, Racing Stars. So, but anyways, and then I guess they're mad because men fumble. You know, Danny was telling last night in the chat that Fumble hated me anyways. Well, me and Fumble's getting along, and me and Fumble have that love hate relationship. We don't agree on some things, and sometimes, I mean, we're both hard headed as hell. I will admit I am hard headed. Um, and we butt heads, and it gets pretty rough. But whenever, he was right on what he was saying, so yes, I backed him up. But that's just how it is. I'm not going to back up somebody over here that goes real live, and another one that supposedly threatened me with the video. Oh, I've got the video of that's your house, and we know it's your house, and that was your dishes, and we know that's your trash. And yeah, no, I mean, they can sit there and say all day long they found dishes out there on my curb. They did not find dishes on the curb. They would have had to been in the wrong place because I never put out nothing on the curb. Absolutely nothing. So I ended up bringing all that junk with me. Fuck. Because I didn't want to put it out there for that very reason right there. And there was other things, that Sugar Plum had said. And I used to think Sugar Plum was cool when we first met. But she just wanted to do too much, go too hard for Jim and them. And so that's on her. She's the one that's got to deal with it now, not run back crying, and she hasn't cried about it. um but if you're gonna do it, you got to be able to take that shit back. Got to be able to handle the um what gets thrown at you, right? Racing Stars, y'all still doing demolition derby? Wow, y'all go late. I remember we used to have them crash up derbies. It was, yeah, I think it was Saturday nights. So anyway, that's where I'm going with all this. And I don't like Leanna and I don't like Sugar Plum. So if there's a problem with that, sue me. They haven't done anything for me to like them. They've done several things to make me not like them. But I haven't heard apologies out of nobody. Leanne, I mean, went hard on Buster. Buster's a friend of mine too. Um, he hadn't heard any apologies either. She just thinks that it's okay. I just come over into your community and take it over. And that's why Fumble's upset. And that's why I'm upset because, yeah, people that, have said they've hated this one and that one are right over there with it, so they're and loved us and hated them. But it's just, it's just the opposite. I don't know how people can flip or transition that easy to where they don't like you now because these other people don't like you and they all just kind of fall in line. You know what I mean? And apparently everybody knows that me and Betty and Danny and Reuben don't get along anymore. And I'm going to speak their name. If they don't like it, tough shit, they can sue me too. The thing about that is they got mad at me the night that I went up on and talked to Jim. I'm 59 years old. I can talk to whoever in this damn world I want to talk to. And I'll be damned if some youngins is going to come up there and get all pissy about it. They say that because I don't know how to talk or I don't get my point across or I don't make sense. Well, I don't give a shit. Why don't you just say, oh, that's just twin mama and leave it alone? But no, you got to put your 2 cents in. You shouldn't have said this about Candace Cooley. You shouldn't have said my name. All I did was say that y'all weren't over at Fumbles. And if that was a big deal, y'all made it bigger than what it was because it wasn't a big deal. I just said, no, they're not over at Fumbles. Yeah, Fumble invited them to come on his show. Those were all truths. It wasn't a lie. I didn't make anything up, and I wasn't trying to hurt anybody. But that's how easily somebody gets pissed off. But it gets turned back on me, and that I'm the bad one, and I'm really not. Um, but I think a lot of people do misunderstand what I say. Maybe I say it in a way that sounds shitty or sounds bad, or you know, I just say what I want, and I've always just said what I want. And people can say, well, that's just one moment, and it will be okay, instead of acting like that I shouldn't do this or I shouldn't do that. Like I say, as old as I am, there's not a soul on this on YouTube or whatever the hell, StreamYard or any of it. It's not going to change. It's not going to change me. I'm too old to change. But I actually wear my heart on my sleeve, and I can very easily, all somebody's got to say is sorry or some shit like that, and I'm over it. I don't hold a grudge, but these two women have got me holding a grudge. And that's just the way it'll be. And I don't feel like getting on a train with Leanne that's headed backwards right back to Auschwitz. I'm not getting in that shower. We've all come out of that. A lot of people come out of it unscathed a little bit. A lot of us come out of it very beat up, very traumatized. But yet we're supposed to forget all that. I'm tired of it too, Georgia Peach. I'm fucking tired of it. I wanted to quit 1,001 times. You know, I have. I have not flip flopped, not one single time. I've been here and I've been here all the time. I want to go forward. We all want to go forward. So what makes her coming in with this chat of moving forward? No, you ain't moving forward when you're sitting there making fun of people and you're sitting there, still going at the same ones, that we have gone after over here for 2 or 3 years. If you're gonna let it go, you gotta let it go. You gotta let it all go. I've left Jim alone. I don't talk about him. We made an agreement that night that I talked to him. He wouldn't talk about me and I wouldn't talk about him, on our shows. If I leave him alone, he'll leave me alone. And that's what I've done, and he's left me alone. So far. But, and I've thought about too, Georgia Peach is just rebranded myself, just dropping this whole channel and rebranded myself over in, crafts or some shit. Whatever community, and there's always going to be drama. I mean, there always is. And go outside and touch the grass and get some sunshine. I wish I hadn't got any sunshine today because now it's hot in here and my air conditioner quit, and it's a brand new air conditioner. Sucks because tomorrow's Sunday. Which means nothing's going to be open. Your tooth from last year came out 3 days ago? Golly, Richard Pollitt. You finally getting your baby teeth out? Gonna get your adult teeth now? Fumble. How's it going? Well, yeah, Georgia Peach. That's what I've been doing, or I just hadn't even come on anymore because there's always, I don't know. Well, apparently I don't have a co-host anymore, so I thought about asking old Bob. Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. You think, oh, Bob. I thought somebody said he'd encroached, but I guess he's still running along doing his. Yeah, you're out of control. I mean, apparently I am too, and apparently it's only me and you. It's only me and you that have an issue with Leanne. Both of us supposedly hate Leanne, and that's why all of this is all about. You know, not nothing like Leanne, you don't belong over here or anything like that because you've never been here. You hadn't fought for this community. You fought against this community. You fought against all of us over here. You know, you've called us names. You've went live on us. You've contacted family. You may not have contacted them, but you damn sure looked them up. You know, I know, Fumble. Yeah, I stopped over by Leanne's a while ago, and I just couldn't believe some of the people in there, some of the stuff they were saying. Court TV, well, tell me and I'll watch you, Georgia Peach. I'll watch you on the real TV. But yeah, I mean, like I say, it can't be. Well, that's just Fumble or that's just Twin Mama. No, it's we're radicals. We're out of control. Um, we want to start the trouble. You know, things like that. It just absolutely makes no sense. How about you, Leanne? Leanne's always wanted to fight. Yeah, they can't see that she is the what is it called, master puppet or clown in the back or whatever, that's pulling strings and stuff. And she says that she didn't say it, but I've got to find it. I think I have the clip in my phone somewhere that Jim came up one night on Bob's and was going to show this video about cremation. Yeah, puppeteer. Um, about cremation, if y'all remember, and it was this big old incinerator in there, and people were pushing bodies off in it. But when he started to bring it up, somebody else that was on the panel said, "No, don't do that, Jim." And Leanne said, "Yes, she deserves it. Do it." Yeah, you did, Leanne. Yeah, you did, Leanne. You know, you're just a mean and cruel bitch. I don't. You can't cut it any other way. That's what you are. And you want to holler about everybody else taking accountability. You ain't took accountability for your bullshit. You try to put the blame off on everybody else. Everybody else was the ones that done it, not you. Um, yeah, evil puppeteer. I'll go with that, Moxie. you know, uh, like I said, she got no business over here. She needs to get back over there where she came from. And people with this, well, we need if they don't have a place to come to, then they'll stay with Jim. No, they won't. If they don't want to be there, they'll leave. If they're still there, it's because they want to be there, right? I think so too. I want to say one night, last night, or whenever the last time I heard her on was, she sounded drunk for real. Yeah, yeah. I talked about the co-signing bill. You know, because people follow each other. A lot of people don't want to use their brains, or maybe they don't think they have a good judge of character, so they'll follow what somebody that they think does, and they'll follow them. Because they don't think they can be wrong if they're following somebody else. Um, but yeah, I mean, I've seen a few people over there making remarks a while ago, and I've seen it within the last month or two. I guess people don't think I'm around, or decided since I'm not around all the time that it's okay to go ahead and start trashing me. Oh, she's got more more than a tumor in the head. Oh God. And she calls everybody else stupid. How can she call everybody else stupid? But yeah, I've heard, several people has, made references to that. I don't know how to speak to people, and I shouldn't be talking. I need to sit and shut up. I fucking pay my dues in this world and this life. I'll speak when I get damn good and ready. If they don't like it and can't figure it out, then move on. I like that name. What is it? Moxie Genies or Moxie Genix? Oh, Genix. Okay. That's cool. Hello. But yeah, anyway, so that's what I was kind of doing, just clearing up, and adding to it. I don't have anybody over here to get on to me except my dog. You hear him back in the background. Oh. Well, hello, Freeside. How are you? But yeah, twin mama ain't bad. Twin mama's not a bad person. She just got to where she don't take your shit no more. And I shouldn't have to. People shouldn't be talking this shit to me because I hadn't done anything to them. And that's why a lot of people say, well, I don't have anything against Leanne because she didn't do anything to me. Okay, so why do you have something against me then? I didn't do anything to you. It goes both ways. But they can sit over there all day long. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I remember, I'm starting to remember better now. I guess after I get away from certain people to where I can speak now and instead of being told all the time, don't go over there into people's chats and say anything. That's bullshit. And that's been basically since day one with Leanne helping me. It was always sit there and let me do all the talking, let me do all the talking. I know Jim. I know how to work Jim. Yeah, I know you didn't. Fuck. Yeah, Richard Polly, looks like I'll be starting back over with the 20 likes. Because I have really pissed off some people. Yeah, that's the same way with you, Fumble. I know you, inside. I know your heart. But yeah, we're gonna butt heads with stuff. It just and if other people just wouldn't say anything, then they wouldn't get involved and it would just and then we'd get over it and whatever and go on. But that happens with a lot of people on here, but a lot of people just hold a grudge against it. And I've been told I get on people's nerves and some people just can't deal with me. Well, sounds like their problem, not mine, actually. I had noticed last night, Betty had said something about her and Danny doing lives. So I'll be either looking for another, I don't know. I may not get another co host. I may just do it on my own. Yeah, we had it kind of weeded out, Fumble, there for a while. Um, but the ones we thought were good ones just held out longer than the rest of them did. You know what I mean? But it finally comes around. Flip flop, flip flop, soda pop. So speaking of soda pop, let me grab one real quick. And y'all know what really pisses me off is when they tried to come get my Richard Polly. They're not taking my Richard Polly. He's all mine. I'm just messing with you, Richard. Yeah, they've been trying to take my boyfriend. Gaslighting to induce amnesia. Like what? Hello, Lambro. Lambro. God, can you? No, I'm just telling. I'm just telling the truth. The truth is that I know my side of the truth. I don't know how we can all, there'll be three people and we're all saying we're telling the truth and we all got a different story. Hey, there's my Sandy girl. Long time no see. It's good to see you. Hey, you must be working. But yeah, but that's pretty much it. That's where I was going with that. Oh, okay, Moxie. So I talk too fast. Well, Lambra, a lot of people's been saying that I don't make sense when I talk, and they don't understand me, and So is it that I talk too fast, or if I do, I talk like a retard? I mean, they need to be more specific. It's good to see you too, Sandy. Oh, girl, you don't want to know what's going on. It's kind of like a mixing bowl. The people off the sides are falling in now into the middle, and you know, people that were on one side are now have moved to the other side. It's just crazy. You don't talk, you crash out. I do too, apparently. I know I sound like a hick, and a lot of people want to, take hickism. Right, Sandy? Yeah. But it is hurtful, I mean, because fumble has been fumble. I've been me. We haven't flip flopped. We've been in the same place, yet people flip from us. It's like there's. Let, I've been meaning to tell Fumble this. I had an ex husband one time that told me that he didn't tell me. I overheard him tell it. Right, that's why he's an ex. He said that I was good enough until something better comes along. And I think that's what a lot of these people think. We're good enough until something better comes along, or they think it's better. It's kind of like the grass is greener on the other side. Yes, Moxie, over and over. Oh my God, yes. And they say if you say it enough, people do believe it. And then people that know for a fact that knows what's going on will say that they don't know what's going on. I'm thinking, I'm the one with the memory problem. I'm the one supposed to not be able to remember it, not everybody else. It's okay, Sandy. I mean, I think it's kind of like what Jim Terry said before about the God. I have to quote him. About a 6 month shelf life, and I think that's for pretty much everything across the board. You know what I mean? People like you for about 6 months. They say you were average and wanted better. Yeah, well, my ex couldn't get anything better. He went straight to the titty bar, and that's about as good as he ever got. Oh yeah, Lambrow's been painting pine cones, hadn't she? Getting ready for Christmas, or is that are you making Thanksgiving or fall out of it? I was wanting to start doing some crafts too. I really miss it. I miss my sewing machine. I love to make crafts. Exactly, Richard Polly. He had to pay to see it. Oh, I gotta turn this fan on. It is getting hot. You also kind of were they crunchy? Deep fry pine cones in your turkey deep fry. That'd probably be good with a little turkey flavor on it for Rosh Hashanah. Damn, $20 to get your pants hemmed. It used to be like $2, then it went up to $5. Now it's $20. Put a little bacon grease in it, Moxie. It makes everything taste good. Yeah, we got those pine cones here that's kind of pokey. I need to do that with my boys because I remember doing that as a kid. Getting the pine cones and some of them we'd paint and then we'd put glue on them around the little oh shit, whatever you call them things coming out of them, and then put glitter on them. God, I remember having glitter everywhere, everywhere. There was a video that I seen yesterday, or it might have been today. Um, I guess it was a guy they were about to arrest, and he had. Oh, what happened here? Get off of my StreamYard. Lost my StreamYard. Hang on, let me find y'all again. Well, Hills Bills. Oh, there it is. There we are. I got lost there for a minute. You can get glitter at strip clubs too, right? Thrift shopping. You go all the way to the Ukraine, Richard Polly, to get your pants hemmed up. What are you, shrinking or what's up? Well, hello, TNW Logger. I was going to ask you, TNW, if you, somebody I'm sure probably already knows, and I probably did but forgot, but do you drive a log truck? You work in the logwoods? Reason I say that is because I used to have what is that called? A one stack Mac with a window in the back. And that's what we did. We hauled logs with it. Yes, okay. God, I remember coming down one time down a hill, and it was loaded. The truck was topped out, and there wasn't no getting no fucking brakes in the damn right there in the school zone, mind you. Whew, I'm talking. We just barely got it stopped in time. We've had all kind, coming down the side of the mountain and lose brakes, and riding down with the door open so you can jump out. A vicious dog. Most truck drivers have dachshunds, weenie dogs riding with them. What you got? What kind of dog? Duplex R model Max. Max are strong trucks, that's for sure. I remember years ago we were working down in South Texas doing construction work, and we had bought a semi um, down the southeast part, and my husband couldn't take off, so I had to take off. Oh, Westy, oh, how cute! And so they sent me down there to get that truck and bring it back, and I don't even think I had a license for a truck at the time. And I got in that thing, and it was so low. Is it called low geared? Where if you start off in first, you'll bunny hop. Well, that's what I did. And there was a highway patrol sitting right across from me. I couldn't figure out how to make the windshield wipers work. It was starting to rain. I was burning up. It was hot inside of it because the windows was rolled up. Oh, Sandy, thank you, hon, for that. I appreciate it. $20. Love you, twin mama. God bless. Oh, thank you. So, anyways, yeah, the highway patrol was sitting right across from me, and I was thinking, oh, please let his light go first. Well, it didn't. We both got the green light to turn, left. And I took off and I bunny hopped all the way across that intersection. I was so embarrassed. Sweat was just pouring down my back, and it was awful. And finally, I thought, God, I don't want to shift gears right here in front of him because I know I'm going to miss the gear. Yeah, but he didn't stop me. I'm surprised because I know I look like a drunk be bopping across that intersection. Hey, TT, you had to wake up and go make your nightly routine. Watcher just came on too. Really? She didn't see me on? Uh, oh well. but, but yeah. So, anyways, I made it home with the truck, but it was a mess because it started really raining hard, and I never figured out how to turn them windshield wipers. I couldn't turn the headlights on. It was a mess. So, Richard Polly, I've been getting that Dr. Pepper Zero strawberries and cream. If you haven't tried the strawberries and cream yet, you're missing out. It's really good. Really good. TT's got a cute little dog. Little Ozzy. Yeah, I like the blackberry one pretty good. Sandy's got a cute dog too in her picture. Yeah, Fumble, you're supposed to be getting up to go to church in the morning. You better not be late. I need to be going myself. My kids need to be going. Fucking Kason, I swear. Kason, he's always talking to me about going to heaven and going to hell and oh my goodness. I said, oh boy, I've got to get you into church so somebody that knows what they're talking about can teach you. Hey Linda, how are you? Linda Cushing, good to see you. You trying to drink less pop now? Well, if it doesn't have sugar in it, you should be okay. Fresh eggs. I'm thinking about getting me a chicken or two. You know, let them live inside with the dogs. Put icing on the top. But anyways, I was fixing to try to look up. That's what I was talking about a while ago, and I sidetracked myself because I knocked myself off my StreamYard. But there was this video that had this man. They were arresting him. They had his hands behind his back, and he had a towel around him. I guess they must have got him out of the house naked or whatever. And they had a towel around him, and he just sat there and just diarrhea went everywhere, and you could hear it. I mean, the cops are, scattering, trying to keep their shoes from getting pooped on. I did that one time when I was young to a cop. I didn't poop on him, but I puked on him. Yeah, I was riding shotgun though, and we got stopped, and the cop asked my husband, "Are you drunk?" He said, "I ain't, but she is." I thought, "Oh, gee, thanks." And I don't know what it was he was wanting me to do, but I had to raise up whatever it was to do it because I was just kind of laying down in the seat, and I raised up. And when I did, it just all went all over him. He was just like, "You need to take her home." I don't handle my alcohol very well. Well, that was many moons ago, but did you get rid of some of them roosters, Georgia? Didn't you say you had several roosters too? 45 hens, that's quite a few. Yeah, exactly, Richard Polly. Hmm. There's a lot of chickens. A lot of chickens. You got rid of them all? Yeah, I don't know why my phone doesn't act like it wants to. Oh, Watcher's title is Now That I'm an Influencer. Well, Watcher, it wasn't anything bad. It's actually a good thing. That just means everybody trusts you and listens to you. So I guess I'm going to get the shit off of that. So, Poco Stick. Yeah, when I used to live in the country and had a lot of chickens, and I would let them out and let them roam free range, it kept the ticks and, stuff down. But well, I wasn't going to stay on here long anyway. I don't know if y'all want to go over there and watch her. So she'll be on. I don't know if she's on yet or not. Thank you, honeybee. I guess Arkansas is on. Racing stars, you can make them stay in the barn, I guess. You say I would let mine out during the day, and of course at night I'd put them up. I had a pen that me and my dad built together, and I had a top and everything on it. So actually, the snakes are more scared of the chickens than the opposite. You check on Arky and Raditha. I hadn't caught, but I think one of Raditha's shows yet. She comes on a little bit earlier, doesn't she? Yes, they eat spiders. Yeah, that's probably why, because I'm usually probably doing supper time and bath time and all that. That's why I usually have to come on so late myself, is, after I get all the stuff done with the boys and get them in bed. They've been getting pretty good to where they'll go to bed between 8 and 9 now, so I don't have to force them too much. I have to force them to school, but yeah, I go over by Arky's. I need to start catching Raditha. I think I was in there one time. So. Really, Georgia Peach? Hmm. No, I've never had a snake eat a chicken. Usually, the chickens attack the snakes. And they'll keep the snakes out of the yard. We've had, like chicken snakes will get up there under the hen when they're on the nest, but they don't ever do anything to the chicken. They just, eat the eggs. Well, that's about right, Richard. That's about how many people's been in here. So, good night, Moxie Genix. Come back and see us again sometime. Right, Georgia? I know. Hmm. All right, guys. I guess I'll get off of here. And what time is it? Just 12. Just 10 after 12. Wow, yeah, I've never had them eat my chickens before. That's crazy. I have to watch out for like the owls and hawks and stuff. But I used to, when I was out on the farm, I was always outside anyways. So, when the chickens were out, and I was usually out and about. So, all righty, night, night, Richard Polly. Good night, Georgia Peach. Love you too, Racing Stars. Good night, hon. Good night, Sandy. Thank you. Appreciate you, and it's good to see you. Good night, Bumble. I don't know if you're silly or not, but twin boner. Get out of here, Richard. All right, y'all have a good night. If she goes too hard on me over there, I might come back on. All right, catch y'all later.